It's probably too nice outside for anybody around here.
It could be, because around here it is super, super out.
Yeah.
If you hop on, let us know where you're watching from. Say hi.
There's Liza from Maryland.
Awesome.
Amanda, Nikki, Trudy, Stephen. We have Illinois, Texas, New Mexico, Missouri. Debbie from Pennsylvania.
Oh.
Kathy from Idaho.
There we go.
Here they come.
Hi, Kathy. Linda, Regina. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started, everyone. We have a special guest with us today. Sarah's with us from WF Young, and she's going to talk about silver honey.
Be sure to get any questions that you might have for her in those comments. At the end of this segment, we will be giving away a little prize package to 2 lucky viewers. You are going to receive a silver honey spray gel and a silver honey ointment. So make sure you get those questions in there, or just say hello and let us know where you're watching from. And with that, Sarah, we are going to turn it over to you.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. I'm super excited to talk about Silver Honey Rapid Wound Repair with everybody today. So excited to see so many people that want to learn about it, so that's fabulous. So this is a newer wound and skincare line from Absorbine. It launched about 2 years ago, and it's been growing in popularity since, so it seems like the word's gotten out, which is fabulous. It is a really unique product because it combines natural medical grade Manuka honey and microsilver. And then just like the lady showed before, these are what we're talking about. Silver honey, the rapid wound repair spray gel, and then the ointment. And so both use the natural medical grade Manuka honey and the microsilver. And there's no other product line out there that combines the two. So that's really what makes it unique, which is really special. So both ingredients are really well known on their own for wound and skincare applications, but they're really powerful together. So when you combine the two together, you get the benefits of both have great antimicrobial properties, and the Manuka honey is really moisturizing. And then the microsilver helps add a prolonged antimicrobial effect. So it's really nice. So both have individual benefits and some that overlap. So you get a really powerful wound treatment from the combination, which is great. And we have a quick video. Well, we have a video that does a nice overview of the products and what makes it really special. So we'll watch the video. You can learn a little bit about the ingredients, about the combination of the ingredients, and then we can go into some more details. And if you have any questions after watching the video as we go through it, just put them in the chat, and I'm more than happy to talk through those. But the video is a really good intro, and we'll go from there.
All right, hold on just a second.
Okay.
Getting themselves into trouble. That's nothing new, but a healing aid that helps them recover this quickly, well, that's not something we've seen before. New Silver Honey Rapid Wound Repair works like nothing else because there's never been anything like it, thanks to the unique combination of naturally powerful silver and honey. But this isn't your grocery store variety of ingredients. While good on toast, these honeys aren't good at healing. That's why silver honey starts here in New Zealand with the rare and precious Manuka flower. When bees harvest its pollen, it is transformed into Manuka honey, prized for its potent healing properties. For silver honey, it's carefully refined to concentrate the most beneficial qualities into an ultra-potent medical-grade distillation. When applied to wounds, it kills bacteria, maintains skin moisture, and helps the body shed dead tissue. At the same time, it protects the natural microbiome, the beneficial microorganisms living on the skin. But Mother Nature is generous. She also gave us the healing power of silver. Used medicinally for centuries, silver honey takes it an important step further, using only medical-grade microsilver BG. This pure microparticle silver boosts the antibacterial properties of the element to effectively fight harmful germs while aiding the skin's natural defenses and further protecting the microbiome. Only Silver Honey Rapid Wound Repair combines the pure strength of medical-grade Manuka honey with microsilver BG to create a first-of-its-kind wound treatment. And the results are stunning. In testing, this revolutionary formula stopped 99.9% of bacteria immediately to start healing faster. So silver honey makes quick work of cuts, abrasions, sores, fungi, rashes, and burns. Kick and bite marks too. Plus, it's free of hypochlorous acid and anything that might damage the skin's protective natural microbiome. So be prepared for your horse's next mischief with the naturally powerful, proven science of Silver Honey Rapid Wound Repair. And find more compelling evidence at silverhoney.com. Brought to you by Absorbine, the horse world's most trusted name.
Okay.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you so much. So it gives a nice overview of the two ingredients and the highlights of both of them. But I think the big takeaways from that are really gentle on the skin. Silver honey is very gentle. You can use it on such a wide variety of issues. And we have science behind it. It's proven. We've done veterinary field studies and we've done in vitro lab testing. And it's proven to stop 99% of bacteria instantly. And so that allows the wound to start healing faster, which is so important. And like we said before, the silver and the honey, they work together, which is really great. And like I said, it can be used on a lot of different issues. It can be used on like fresh wounds. It can be used on older wounds. It can be used on persistent kind of scab skin conditions where maybe they're having a tough time healing. It can be used on sores and rashes, different types of skin irritations, rain rot, and different fungal conditions, and it can help soothe sweet itch. So these are a lot of common things that we see with horses, and silver honey can be used on all of them. And it can also be used on any animal, which is great. So we're talking about horses today, but most horse owners have a dog. A lot of people have cats, and all different animals. We know people have used it on chickens. Sometimes chickens have injuries with their combs, so different things. So it is truly a versatile product. So both of them are, so they can be used on all different animals. So that's fabulous. And I think the veterinary aspect is really important. The studies that have been done to really prove its efficacy. We have tested it on different types of wounds and skin conditions with veterinarians in 2 different field studies. Feedback that we get from vets a lot is that they really like that there are no antibiotics in it, which is great. So really get the antimicrobial effect from that silver and from that honey, which is fabulous. So, and then we get a lot of questions about the consistency of these products. To jump into that, like what is it like to use? So once we talk to people about how it works, that's always the next question that we get. And I think it takes on that shea butter consistency. So it's very moisturizing. It's not sticky at all. I know because it has the name honey, people often think that it's going to be kind of sticky and sweet smelling, but it's not. It's very smooth, and it leaves your skin pretty moisturized and smooth after, so you can kind of get an idea of how it helps the horse's skin to feel. And then the spray gel, it is a gel, so you spray it and it spreads, and then it kind of stays put, but it never hardens. It doesn't ever get tough. It doesn't dry out. So it's never constricting the skin at all. It really stays nice and flexible, but it does stay where you put it. You come back the next day and it's there. It's on the hair. So it does a really great job of sticking to that area. But again, doesn't smell sweet. Both products are gray. So they don't look like honey at all, which is nice. So we don't have that kind of concern. But they're very soothing, very moisturizing. So it's good. So the difference between the two, I say the ointment is actually more moisturizing than the spray. It just with that shea butter has extra moisturizing properties, which is really nice. So through our veterinary field study, vets found that it actually works really well on scabbed wounds. Sometimes a wound will scab and just not quite heal, and people have trouble getting past that stage. So the ointment, because it's so moisturizing, does a good job of softening the scab and then starting to heal the wound underneath. So that's really great. I see a bunch of questions already in here. Let's see. Should the spray gel be rubbed in? No, you don't have to rub the spray gel in. So you spray it on, and it will stay. You do want to rub the ointment in a little bit. And honestly, you choose one over the other depending on what you're treating. They both do the same thing, but it really depends. So if you have a fresh wound that's kind of open, maybe it's a little, sensitive, or maybe even a fresh wound can be kind of wet before it even starts healing, then you'd want to use the spray gel. You don't have to touch anything. You don't have to rub it in. You can spray it and you can leave it. If you have a more targeted, a smaller area, then you can use the ointment, or an area that's kind of dry and needs moisturizing, then you could use the ointment too.
Renee had asked if it should be left uncovered or does it matter?
Oh, that's such a good question. It really depends again on the situation. So you can use a wrap over it, but you don't have to. So if you have, a situation on a lower limb and an area that is prone to get dirty when the horse goes outside and you want to protect that area, then yes, you can wrap it. If the wound is a little bit more severe, and hopefully talk to a vet about that, and then, the directions are to wrap it, that's fine. You can wrap it with silver honey. So it really depends on what you're dealing with.
How long do you need to apply it to a wound? Like how many times a day? How many days?
Only once. You only have to apply it one time a day. It lasts. So what's nice is the silver in the silver honey. So I'll go to another question we get from people is it like colloidal silver? But microsilver is actually very different. It has a slightly larger particle size than colloidal silver does. And so that larger particle size allows it to stay on the skin. And so it doesn't get absorbed into the skin at all, but it does an amazing job of staying where you put it. So you just apply it one time a day. You'll come back the next day and you'll see, if you have a light hair horse, you'll definitely see it, but that area will be sort of gray, and that's the silver staying put. So it adheres to the skin and the hair really well. So just one time a day.
Regina had a question about the safety if it's ingested by a pet.
Yeah. So if you're talking about a dog and it's kind of licking the area where you put it, hopefully that doesn't happen. There is a bittering agent in there to deter licking. Some dogs are more determined than others, as we know. And, then we kind of expect that, but it shouldn't be ingested. So I think if you're anticipating a risk of that happening, if you can cover the area, that's best. I know dogs need to be wrapped differently than a horse, so that's probably something you want to talk to a vet about. But it shouldn't be ingested. There's contact information on the back if a dog gets into a package, but like any of our products, they're not meant to be ingested. So how long do you need to... Scanning these questions here. Oh, do you need to wash it off? That's such a good question too. You don't actually. It depends what you're doing. Again, you can put it on, like you can just reapply it over it. If it's in an area that gets dirty, or you find like it's collected some dirt, then yeah, you can wash it off, and you should just be able to rinse it off with water, like a hose and running water over it. Should take care of it. And then you can dry it and then reapply it. So we've talked to quite a few vets about this product, and they're using it. A lot of vets that we talked to are using it on cases themselves. And depending on how bad or how large an area is, I've talked to a vet that has used the spray gel and was just spraying over it every day for a very sensitive situation and then rinsing it off every other day. But I think you kind of have to gauge your horse's activity and then keep an eye on that area.
Do you recommend spray gel or cream?
It really depends what you're dealing with. So they both really do the same thing. I think it depends on the area and the type of wound. So the spray gel is a great no-touch application. If the horse is kind of sensitive and doesn't want you messing with that area, you can spray it and then leave it, and it does stay where you put it. So you don't have to worry about it running off. And then the cream, again, if an area needs more moisturization or if it's a smaller area, then you can use the cream. But it really depends what you're treating. And you can mix and match. If you start off with the spray gel and then the wound starts to, and maybe it's like an open sore or something like that, and it starts to heal, and then you feel like the ointment is appropriate after that, then you can follow up with that. So it depends on what you're treating. But,
does it stay on if it gets wet?
I guess it depends how wet would be the question. So that silver does a good job of staying in place. Like if your horse is out in the pouring rain, it might wear off. But I think it does a good job of staying in place. That gel, it really does kind of gel up. It's like a true gel. It's not sticky, but it has like a tackiness to it. So you do really have to run water over it or clean it off. So it should stay on pretty well. And it, I've used this in the summer in some pretty high heat, and it doesn't melt. It doesn't get runny or anything like that. So it has good staying power, which is good. That's what we want. So I don't think it'll wash off through just environmental conditions very easily.
Mary asked if you could buy both of these at Valley Vet, and you sure can, Mary. And I will share the links once we're done with this video. I'll put them in the comments.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, try both. It's nice to have both on hand, I think, because they're used for different things. So I think that's really good. Horses are such accident-prone animals, as we all know, and they get themselves into all different situations. So it's nice to have different treatments on hand. But even the ointment, like you can use this on different skin conditions, like rain rot and scratches. It's great for scratches and rain rot situations. So, if you have like little patches of rain rot, you might want to use the ointment because you can really get it in under the hair and rub it in really well. If you have scratches and maybe the horse is kind of sensitive and doesn't want you to touch it, then you can use the spray gel on the scratches, which is nice. So there are lots of reasons to use both of them.
Is there any risk for allergic reactions?
Well, every horse is different, right? So I think that it really comes down to the individual horse and what they're sensitive to. All the ingredients are listed on the back of these products. So if your horse has any known allergies or known sensitivities, it's really easy to reference the back label of these and make sure there's nothing that you would personally be concerned about for your own horse. So.
Yeah. How do you store them? Like, will they freeze, get too hot?
Room temperature. You can do that. We test them up to a pretty high, like over 100 degrees. We test stability, so they're good to a high heat. The spray gel it could freeze if it gets really cold. I just always recommend a room temperature if you can. In the summer when it gets hot, I'm not worried about that as much. There's a possibility of freezing if it gets really cold, so just keep them inside. Yeah. So we skipped around here.
Well, Carol had asked if the gel, I think what she's asking is does it have an expiration after you open it, the gel?
Oh, not after you open it. I believe these products have a 3-year expiration date from time of manufacturing. And it doesn't, whenever you open it, the expiration date has more to do with when they're made versus when they're opened. So that's less of a concern.
Linda asked if it was safe for proud flesh.
Proud flesh is a bit of a different situation. So I think once you are experiencing proud flesh, that's when a vet gets involved. These will hopefully help a wound heal properly. That's the idea, is that these really help promote proper healing, so the wounds heal from the inside out with that like nice moisturization and giving that skin that moisture balance. So hopefully that should help prevent it. But once proud flesh occurs, then you really need to talk to the vet about that. So
Marie had asked if it's fly repellent.
Well, it does have neem oil in it, which is really nice. So it should help repel some flies. It's a small amount to keep them away. But it's not intended as a fly repellent. It is, it has a little bit in there to help with it, but it's not a fly repellent. The products themselves, we don't build them as fly repellent. So,
Okay.
one other thing that was noted in that video that I think is really interesting, it talked a lot about the skin's microbiome. And so as we talk about the skin and we talk about bacteria, there's kind of good bacteria and like bad bacteria that live on your skin. And so when the wound occurs. And so the silver honey is really meant to be really gentle on the skin's microbiome. And what that means is it should help stop the harmful bacteria that helps in a wound environment, but it will help protect the kind of good bacteria that's supposed to live there. And a veterinarian described it in a really nice way that I'll borrow his words, is he described the microsilver as kind of a slow release silver. And so when you put it on the skin, it doesn't stop everything. It kind of is a slow release, so it doesn't disrupt that environment so much. So it happens, it stays on there, and then it works over time. And it starts working on that bad bacteria kind of right away, but it has a prolonged effect. So that's what helps make it more gentle on the skin. Yeah.
All right. Cool. I think we have a few before and after photos.
Yeah, do you want to go over those?
Yeah, let's show those. Yeah, this is a great one. So we actually work with Sinead Halpin as one of our sponsored riders, and this was one of her horses. And this was a stifle injury that one incurred a couple of years ago. She shared with us, but I just think it's a really good progression issue of an area that's very hard to treat, because this area is always in movement on a horse. And they used the spray gel on this horse, and they applied it diligently, and their groom was fabulous, clearly, and really stayed on top of it. But this is the progression that they saw from day 1 to day 8, which is pretty remarkable in just over a week. So this was a real world example of a horse that had an injury in competition in a tough area, and then they sent this to us, and I love seeing it because it's just a very clear visualization of how the product works. But you see, obviously that kind of like fresh open area on day 1. That's what I'm talking about when we talk about like a fresh wound that's a little bit wet, and that's, you don't want to put the ointment really. That might be a tough one to put ointment on, but that's where the spray gel comes in, and it's fabulous because it covers the whole area and it stays put. And then you get to day 3 where it's starting to heal, and you can see that skin is starting to shed, and that's what's supposed to happen, so that the new skin is allowed to grow underneath. And then you can see in day 8 that skin is healing up really nicely, and the hair is going to grow back nicely there. So this is a really good illustration of how the product can work. So, and this is a perfect example of where you would probably want to use the spray gel over the ointment. This is exactly it, that like tough area that moves around a lot, because it does cover and stay, and it does not restrict the horse at all. And I'm sure the horse wouldn't want you kind of touching that area very much. So this spray gel allows you to treat it without having to touch the horse. So that's perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Another one. Yeah.
Open the other one.
Yeah. So this one, this was a face rub on a horse, and this actually came from one of the veterinarians that we worked with for our field trials. And this was a 7-day progression. They applied the ointment, I think, over the first few days, and then let this wound heal. And this is the progression that they got. So it's, again, that kind of open area, very sensitive. It's a tough spot, especially a halter, having to put a halter on. So it's a tough spot to have a wound on a horse. But again, a pretty quick turnaround here, and you can see that healthy skin growing back on day 7. And if we were able to zoom in, we could see some of the hair starting to grow back in that area too. But it's nice and smooth, and it's looking a lot better. So these are some real world examples from the last couple of years of horses that we've seen benefit from silver honey. And whenever we take this product to an event, we get a lot of interesting stories from people of how it's helped, and it's really amazing. Because once you have a tough situation like that, and the horse is uncomfortable, and it's they're not happy, and so if you're able to help that wound heal faster and in a gentle manner, the horse is going to be more comfortable and feel like themselves again soon too, which is really what we want, right? we want them to feel good and return to their regular activity levels. So, yeah.
We had a question come in from Lisa. She says, I have Perlino. Does it help around her nose and eyes for sunburn?
It would help soothe if the horse did get burn, because it will help. It does help with burns. So you want to use the ointment on that, and then help soothe that. So it should help. Yeah. Another good example of when you would choose one product over the other. So a face situation, you would want to use the ointment because it's really going to work into the skin very nicely, and then stay there. So, and then that sensitive facial skin is, with that extra moisturization from the ointment, I think the ointment's ideal. So, yeah. Cool.
We do have a special going on these right now. If you buy one, you get a like product for half off. So
if you buy a spray, you can get another spray for 50% off.
Awesome.
And then likewise with the ointment, if you buy an ointment, you can get an ointment for 50% off. So take advantage of that. And that goes on until March 7th. So you have a few days.
Fabulous. Yeah, I think once people try these products, they really like them and you start finding a lot of uses. So stocking up on them is really nice, especially with all the different animals you can use it on. So it makes it handy. I've used these on my dogs for sure, as well as the horses. So, and you start seeing, once you start using them, you really start to see in real life, obviously, like the different situations they work on, different, and how versatile they are. So it gets to the point now where I see something, I'm not sure what's happening. I'll put a little silver honey on it and I'll take care of it. But yeah. And they help, you get, sometimes the horse will get the flaky elbows or something like that. That's kind of, you don't really know what, maybe you're not sure what to put on it, but something like the ointment is nice because it is so moisturizing. So it'll help moisturize, that dry skin area, then take care of any contributing factors for that too. So, yeah.
Steph asked if it helps to prevent scarring.
Well, I think that has a lot to do with the wound that you're talking about too, since there are so many contributing factors to scarring, but it helps heal quickly. So it's a fresh wound, it'll help heal quickly for sure. And it should help the hair grow back. I've seen some really incredible testimonials from customers with some pretty tough injuries from horses, and they've turned out beautifully. So we had somebody over last summer, I think it was, send us a progression image of her horse who had a pretty tough injury on a shoulder, and then there was no scar after that. So that was fabulous. So I will say that it depends on the horse, depends on the situation, and it depends on your treatment regimen as well. But if used regularly, it should really help with that. Yeah.
Maria asked if this is safe for cats.
Yes. So this is safe for cats, which is great. So cats are so sensitive. That's tough. And we're always very conscious of that, but we're happy that this can be used on cats too. So, yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
That's it for our questions.
That's it for the questions. Yeah. Let's see. The main questions that we always get why would you use one over the other? So I think we hit on that a lot, which is really good. That's always a question. It's consistency. Is it sticky or is it smooth? It's not sticky. They're very smooth. They're very moisturizing. And then can you wrap them and we covered that. So yes, they can be wrapped, but they don't have to be wrapped. So those are great questions. Oh, we have another one.
Mm-hmm.
If you use it on a girth rub, is it okay to ride after to apply the ointment? Yeah, so I guess if your horse is comfortable, that would be the question. So you could put something over this. So if you have a girth pad or something, you could put over the girth to help protect the area. I think in that case, it's probably all about the horse's sensitivity. But because these products can be wrapped and they can be covered, that would be fine. It's just if your horse is going to be comfortable with that. So, yeah. Awesome.
A lot of good comments in there too, mixed in.
Yeah, this is exciting. It seems like a lot of people have been using this. So this is exciting. That's really fun. And everyone's excited to try it. So that's great. It really is. It's very easy to use. You really can't go wrong with silver honey. There's really no wrong way to do it. It's just a matter of figuring out what the best approach is for your horse and for your animal. because yes, they are so versatile. You can wrap it, you don't have to wrap it, but they both are for the same purpose. It's just a matter of what's best for you, what's best for your horse. But they're so gentle, they don't dry the skin. They're very comfortable for the horse. It doesn't cause any stinging. They don't cause any discomfort, but they're really intended to be very gentle on the skin, very gentle, so that the horse is comfortable, and they work really quickly. It's that combination of the microsilver and the Manuka honey is so unique, but they're both so powerful on their own that the combination just works that much faster. So they're great. They're great to have on hand, just in case something happens, or something turns up, but super easy to use, super versatile. And if you do have a situation where you call your vet, more and more vets are becoming aware of it. So that's great. You can talk to them about it, see if that's appropriate. A lot of veterinarians use Manuka honey for wound care, so they're very familiar with that, and different types of silver as well. So feel free to have that discussion if you have to call. But for your everyday situation, they're super easy to use, and very versatile. Yeah.
Trudy asked if it has antibacterial properties.
Yeah, they do stop bacteria. So we have so both the silver, the microsilver, and the Manuka honey have antimicrobial, antibacterial properties. So we do have in vitro lab studies that show that the products stop 99% of bacteria immediately. So.
Then we had a question from Mary Lou on the cost here, and Mel was looking that up real quick here. So the spray here is $22.67, and the ointment is $22.25.
There we go. Awesome. Those are good prices too. That's awesome. And they're on sale. So
they're on sale. So buy one, get one half off right now.
Yeah. Buy one of the ointment, get one ointment half off, right? And then buy one
non-like products.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, they're great. I find lots of uses, especially I like them both. The ointment, I ended up using it on lots of different things because it's so easy to use. So love them. So yeah, try them. And then if you ever have any questions, you can always contact the ladies at Valley Vet, or you can contact Absorbine, and we're happy to answer any of your product questions if you have questions on how to use them. But like I said, they're super easy to use. So once you get it, they're very straightforward. They're not messy at all, which is great. You can use it on all different types of cuts and wounds, burns like we were talking about before. And then I love that you can use it on the wounds, but then also the skin conditions, because we get so many of all of that with horses. So being able to use this on scratches is something we talk about a lot when we travel around and talk to horse owners, and everyone deals with that at one time or another. So these take care of it really quickly, which is great. But it's nice. They're very advanced products. They're definitely pretty cutting edge for our OTC wound care environment. So that's great. But like I said, they're the only ones that combine the Manuka honey and the microsilver. So they are truly unique, and you get the benefits of both. So we know people are becoming more and more familiar with Manuka honey for wound care, and I think people have been somewhat familiar with silver for wound care. So being able to combine the two is really special. And then we get those really fast results like we saw before, and those before and after pictures. So it's nice. Yeah. Awesome.
Marie, if you add 2 to your cart, it should automatically give you half off of the second one. You don't have to put in a code, I don't believe.
Awesome. Super easy.
Jerry said that she was out riding her horse, so she's late to the show here. Don't worry, Jerry, it's going to be on Facebook, so all you have to do is go back and watch it. You didn't miss anything.
Awesome. Oh, the story about someone had to use it on the dog's ear. Oh, wow. Oh, I'm so glad it helped. That's fabulous. Oh, and she used both the gel and the ointment. Oh, very good. Very cool. Yeah. There's definitely a lot of situations where you can use both. Like we were saying before, some people will start out using the spray gel. If you have a fresh wound that's very sensitive, you can start using that. And then as it starts to heal, you can use the ointment to continue the healing through the whole process with that extra moisturization, which is nice. So I'm glad your dog is feeling better. That's fabulous.
We like to hear the success stories.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. That makes this, it brings the real life aspect to it. And it's so good to hear all the different animals that silver honey is helping. So that's fabulous. So that sounds like a tough injury.
Marilyn joined late, and Marilyn, this will be on our Facebook page and YouTube page afterwards. It will be posted there, so you'll be able to watch it. But she asked how it is with flies.
Oh yeah. It shouldn't, it's not sticky and it's not sweet. It doesn't really take on any of the honey properties. And it does have a little bit of neem oil in there to help repel flies, which is really nice. So we put that in there knowing that would be a concern, and that we do have honey in there, so we want to counteract any tendency for that. So yeah, it should not be a problem. If you do have an area that needs to be covered, you can wrap over silver honey as well. So that's a possibility too. So,
Very good.
Right.
awesome.
Alrighty. I think
we hit the highlights. I think that's great. But yeah, versatile, easy to use. That combination, there is no other product like that. So, and that's what makes it work so quickly.
If you guys have any more questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments, and we'll get with Sarah to get some answers for you.
Absolutely. Awesome. His vet has recommended it. That's awesome. That's
nice. All right, we're going to draw the winners for today.
And each winner is going to get a bottle of each. One of the spray and one of the ointment.
And we're going to have 2 winners.
All right.
So the first winner is Kathy Richard. Woo! And the second winner is Marie Wynn.
Woo! Congratulations, ladies. Fabulous.
All right.
Sarah, we want to thank you so much for joining us again.
Yeah,
we really appreciate it, answering all the questions, telling us all about it.
Oh yeah. Thank you for having me.
If you're still watching, go ahead and send us a PM to claim your prize.
Okay. Then we had a couple other announcements before you leave us.
Don't forget, everybody, our Spraymaster Spectacular giveaway is going on now. So get entered. It ends June 24th. But enter now so you don't forget.
And we will be live twice next week. We know you're looking forward to that. So Tuesday, please join us. We're going to be live. We're going to be talking about some new toys that we have.
And we will have jokes that day.
We know you miss them.
Yeah.
But we have some new toys to show you, and then some of our tried and true toys that we've had around for a while. Basically, we have some Easter stuff, some great Easter gift ideas. So you're not going to want to miss next Tuesday. And then Wednesday, the next day, we will be live with Easy Care. So you won't want to miss that either. So once again, Sarah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
All right. Until next week.
Have a great afternoon, everyone.
Bye, everyone.